Let's build a Lego steam train. Hello everyone! Today we're going to be building a Lego steam train. This is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. I've always wanted to build a historical Lego train that was based in the early 20th century, and I wanted it to be built from a kit that already had the pieces parted out and had instruction manuals ready, so I could just do this in a single evening. This is hard to do because those of you who are familiar with Lego's lineup of official sets will know that their sets are usually high-speed rail or electrified, and they also don't release passenger trains very often. The few passenger trains that they do have that are steam-based are usually later steam engines or based in fantasy worlds that have trains and locomotives that are only kind of loosely based on reality. However, recently while going through HA Bricks, they had a refresh of the sets that you can order, and it all lined up perfectly to provide exactly what I wanted to build. From HA Bricks, we got coaches and a locomotive that I'm going to put together right now. So as far as coaches go, the minifigures are going to be carrying and storing their baggage in style with these LPW Bayo 5 cars. These are in the German Deutsche Reichsbahn livery. We have two of these that we're going to have to make up our train composition. The minifigures themselves are going to be riding around in style in these Bay 05 BCL passenger cars. These are also in the Deutsche Reichsbahn livery. We have not two of these, but instead we actually are going to have four of these. So we're going to be able to have lots of minifigures riding around in style on our railway. And to pull this all around the track, the Bavarian Class D4 locomotive. This is an 040 locomotive. It's a smaller style locomotive, and hopefully it's got the power to pull our train around the tracks. So let's go ahead and put this together. Setting out to assemble the kits, I had a choice. Do I construct each box individually, or do I build similar kits at the same time all at once during the same instructions for each simultaneously? I opted for the latter option as I assumed that would save me time. I had initially intended to test this theory with the baggage cars as there were only two of them. However, in my haste, I ended up opening a box for the passenger cars first. Instead of going with my initial intention, I jumped right in and tried what could be the most tedious part of the build. I started out doing all four passenger cars at one time, the same step 4 times, step after step. This also ended up eating up a lot of table space, and it became challenging to keep the pieces straight at times. At the end though, it was very exciting as I could feel how much quicker I would do a single step for the 4th car as opposed to the 1st car. Overall, the instructions from HA Bricks were very clear and concise, which helped with this long build. I will have a more in-depth review on each of these 3 unique sets at a later time. There I will talk about the build process, instructions, techniques, and the overall build. While building the train cars, I noticed just how long this train was getting on the table. I began to ask myself, do I have too many cars for this train? Is this what a turn of the century Bavarian short-line train would look like? I might want to reduce the number of cars in the final train. You will notice that throughout this process, I did not place decals on the train cars themselves. This was because I figured they were all easily accessible and I could add them for flair later, just like minifigures. As for the locomotive, when glancing through the instructions, I noticed just how many stickers were recommended to be added during the construction, as they would be blocked by further assembly steps. I also noticed that without stickers, the train would be missing a significant amount of its gold and red highlights. For these reasons, I opted to include the decals during the assembly of the locomotive. Alright, well here it is, the final Bavarian train all put together. As you can see, I've opted to do 3 passenger coaches, a single baggage coach, and the locomotive. I actually think this turned out really well. I like the proportions of the locomotive to train ratio. I'm going to be uploading individual reviews of each of these components from HA Bricks. So the locomotive, the baggage car, the passenger wagon. So if you look forward to those, subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this train video, hit the like button. As always, this has been California Bird. See ya.